I ask that the Senate adjourn in the memory of Chris Edley, Jr., the former dean of UC Berkeley Law School, a legal legend and a civil rights expert. He was also a policy advisor on 6 presidential campaigns and partner in the White House with 3 presidents, meaning he worked in the White House. Chris Edley, Jr. died May 10th at Stanford Hospital from complications of surgery. He was 71. He spent his childhood in Philadelphia, where, due to racial prejudice, his father, a Harvard Law School graduate, struggled to find work at the city's law firms. Edley went on to Harvard Law, where he was the first second-generation African-American student to earn a law degree. And while attending Harvard Law, he began work on Carter's 1976 presidential campaign. After graduating, he joined Carter's White House and worked on domestic policy issues like stamping out hunger, child welfare, and other disability issues. After Carter's term ended, Chris Edley returned to Harvard Law, where he taught for 23 years, with a number of interruptions, which I'll describe. He took leave, however, after Clinton's election to become the Associate Director of the Office of Management and Budget in Clinton's White House. Now, what Edley was known for is that he was a stalwart advocate for racial equity, especially affirmative action. And in 1995, when affirmative action policies were under attack across the country, Clinton named Edley to oversee a review of programs across the country. Edley dubbed that review "Mend It, Don't End It." He resisted pressure from the White House to engage with critics of affirmative action, calling them dangerously disingenuous. He wrote that the goal of those seeking to dismantle affirmative action is to protect the current distribution of privilege and opportunity that has produced white male elites in virtually every sector. In 1991, he joined 3 other Black professors from top-tier law schools and testified against the nomination of Clarence Thomas, arguing that Justice Thomas, then a federal appeals court judge, was too politically partisan to make fair decisions. Edley returned to Harvard in '96, where he and Gary Orfield co-founded the Civil Rights Project, which has generated dozens of books, papers, conferences, and is a model for law school research programs across the country. In 2004, UC Berkeley named Edley Dean of Berkeley Law, where he became the first African-American to lead a top-tier law school in the U.S. Erwin Chemerinsky, who is the current Dean of Berkeley Law and who happened to be a classmate of Edley's at Harvard Law, called his friend a transformative dean, a brilliant intellect and a great sense of humor. He made a huge difference in Berkeley Law and in every institution that he was part of. While at Berkeley Law, Edley worked closely as an advisor to Obama's 2008 presidential campaign and joined the transition team, but he resisted Obama's efforts to make him part of the White House. He said, "Nope, I need to stay in California," where he felt it was the ground zero for the opportunity struggle that defines the civil rights agenda. He described that the challenges in education, healthcare, immigration, and the criminal justice system here in California capture what the battle for racial and ethnic justice is today across the nation. Edley stepped down as Dean of Berkeley Law in 2013 to deal with prostate cancer, but he returned to teaching in 2016, and in 2021 was named interim dean of UC Berkeley School of Education. There, he co-founded the Opportunity Institute, a nonprofit that promotes social equity through education. He is survived by his wife, Maria Echeveste. They met while they were both working in the Clinton White House. He also survived by 3 children, 1 grandchild, and a sibling. Now, while Edley was ultimately unsuccessful in his lifetime in stopping the dismantling of affirmative action, his work, his writings, the institutes he started, the students he mentored, and much more are carrying on his legacy and continuing the fight. May he rest in peace, and may we adjourn in his memory.